Welcome to Nu-Trix, the synth guy. Another video, this time on the System-8, more specifically the effects. You've got an effects section that can easily replace the need to buy external effects processing. You know, most people, when we use a synthesizer, we add reverb, delay, distortion, stuff like that. And surprise, they're here. So I'm going to go through that. There's controls that you have on top of it, but there's also hidden values and controls in the menus. We're going to dive into that. But when I looked at it, and I looked at the fact that there's an audio input, I was like, okay, can I actually use this with an external synthesizer or a drum machine? Because I've got this Arturia Micro Freak here, which doesn't have any effects. So maybe I can use this through this. So that was my original question when I saw all of these options here. So we'll answer that at the end of the video. So what's important here is you understand that you have the effects at the end of the signal. So at the end of the whole thing, if you're in patch or in performance, it's before the physical output, basically. So you have effects, delay, chorus, and reverb. So you basically have three of them, and they go into that line. So you go into the effects first, then into the delay / chorus, depending which one you select, and reverb. So I picked a sound, kind of a short sound, a little bit of sustain, and let's try them. So basically, first one, effect, if you bring the effect up, you get that distortion that could be used, if you use it subtly, to have that sound of an electric piano, kind of the distortion you can have. Or you can just like have it. Tone is basically the tone of the effect. So you've got, in this case, more bass and more, aggressive in the high frequencies. Now we're in the OD, overdrive. So remember that Roland is the the company behind Boss. So all the Boss pedal and all that stuff. I don't know what it's actually mimicking, but OD is overdrive. We got DS, which is distortion. You've got metal. And again, if you change the depth of it. And remember, these can also be recorded at motion in the step sequencer. So that could be also interesting. Next one is the fuzz. Next one is the crusher. Then we have a digital noise over that, like bit reduction. And it creates the artifact of a new note, kind of. Again, all of this, you can play with it. And the last one is a phaser. So when you add the phaser, this becomes the way it reacts, and this fast. Also becomes, this is almost modulation of phasing, so very fast. Okay, so this works. Quick access, just it does the job. Okay, bring that down. Next one after that is basically, do you have something here? You can actually play something. stop that for now. You have the time. So we're in delay mode. Time. So you hear that moving like. This is interesting. I don't want any stepping in this. Very smooth, very nice. Now, we're in time mode right now. If you look at the screen, you have time. If you press tempo sync, now this becomes tempo values. So yeah, 8 of a note. Could be interesting actually for the melody we were playing. This works really well. Now you have the pan delay. With the headphones, you hear it goes left and right. Same logic. We're still in tempo mode, tempo sync. Okay, next one. Now we fall into the chorus. So now this is kind of the speed of the chorus, and we have the depth. Let's bring that. Without, with. Okay, chorus 2. This one is a step chorus. You hear that? This one is more. Next one is a flanger. It sounds what it should be. And the last one is delay and chorus. So it's a nice, and then you have speed. But then right away, I'm going to ask a question that I would like to have here that, well, on the distortion, it's less obvious. You know, it's a tone and amount. It's often what we have on distortion. But when we talk about delay, chorus, and a lot of stuff, well, I would like to have a little bit more control, you know, like the feedback amount. So that's when you have to look into the menu. And to the menu here, you'll be able to have access to a lot more stuff. I'm just going to finish the reverb and we'll go dive into the menu and you'll see how more information we can get. So reverb here, the last one, you just bring the volume and you have the amount, the time. So the first one is ambient. This one is more metallic. Then you have the room. Short and nice. The hall. The hall 2. have the plate. It's very nice and lush. And then the last one is a modulation. That's kind of a shimmer. This one moves at the back. So this one is more alive and kind of more of a shimmery effect. But then again, same logic here. I wish I had internal controls over that, where that's what exactly we can do. Let's actually move this. So now we move to this section here, okay? And to enter the menu for the effects, you have to press, well, menu. Now, in the menu, you turn until you get into patch effects. When you performance, you have performance effects. You press enter. Then you get the type. Actually, when you turn the knob on the front panel, you see that change. So you know visually what you're in. Okay, I'm in overdrive, I'm in distortion, metal, fuzz, crusher. Okay, fine. I turn the other knob, I see the value. That's right here. I see the tone and I see the depth. Okay, fine. That's very clear. And when you put it at 0, it becomes off. Well, if I want to go to the next page, tone, depth, okay, next one. So you see that the first one is basically the one you see on screen. There's not a lot more to that. Let's say we go see phasing. Is that something else on phaser? There's the depth and that's it. Okay. When you get into delay chorus right now, you've got the panning, because that's the one we selected. Delay, pan, chorus 1, chorus 2, flanging, and delay plus chorus. Now, if you go back to pan, just for fun, you have, next one is the time, which is the thing we change here. Okay, perfect. Next one is the level. Now, I want to hear it. When I need the next one, then I've got the feedback now. Oh, now I've got extra values. Now I got stuff that it didn't have. So now if I want to have the value, I want the feedback to be maximum. I've got extra long feedback, or no, I want a shorter feedback, or none. So you've got extra value here. You can change the feedback of the delay. You're still in the delay chorus effect. Now you've got delay high cut frequency. So you can say it's going to cut frequencies before it goes into the delay. So that's a cool way to say, well, I just want to have the delay on, let's say, just the mid or just the high. So you've got the high cut, 4K. You can change where it's going to cut. So it's going to cut the high. It's going to pass the lows. Tap time is the tap time of the right relative to the side in percentage, you know. So it goes once and then goes back. If you go the other side, it does left, right, left. If you put 50, it's going to do half of the time. It went to center, left, right. So it depends how you want it to react. So again, extra value to change the way the delay reacts. Next one is the delay feedback. Well, do you want more? By default, I think it's like 120, something like that. You can go twice that, 255. And here it changes to high pitch. Now that's because of the other features. I want it to be long, so we hear it. Now, if you want the frequency to, every time you've got an echo, you want the sound to be cutting high frequency, so you have more into the bass, or the other way, cutting more of the low frequencies, you go more into the high frequencies. You have the two options. You're choosing the frequency where you want to cut down. You're in the high, so you're going to cut the high frequencies. And you say how much every time it's going to drop. So the more dB you put, the rapid, it's going to cut the frequencies. That's pretty nice. And same logic the other way. So if you want, if they say low, you're going to cut the lows. And this is the amount, and this is the frequencies. In this case, 12K. So it's going to gradually go. It's going to be higher and okay. So that's pretty nice. I like it. You have the direct signal. I don't want to hear this anymore, the original sound. I just want to hear the delay. Well, here you go. I don't hear the original source anymore. So it's really a great tool for sound design when you're going to use the effects as part of the sound itself. Because the next one is we get to last one, which is reverb. And the different reverb we have ambience, we have room, hall, all of these. Now, what else do we have? Of course, the first three values is basically the choice of the reverb itself, the timing of the reverb, and the last one is the level of the reverb, of course. Then you go into pre-delay. So do they all have this? Well, if you look at the panel, if you look at the patch effect, they all have the same control. They all have the pre-delay that goes from 0 to 100. Pretty nice. Okay, what else do we have here? We have the low cut. Of course, you can cut the low up to 800. Here the reverb now has basically just high frequencies. I mean, it could be really good to cut under like 100 to get rid of the rumble and all that stuff. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. Get the high cut, same logic. You want to have the hairiness, all the high frequencies of it, or you want it to be like a very dark. So very cool again. And now let's try density. Try another one. So it's a little bit more of a subtlety, but it's there. There's a difference in it. Again, there's direct level, and that's it. So this is really interesting because you only see these very quick access, and this is what most people need. They need these quick access on the board. But with all these internal values, you have a lot more control to making something out of this, which is really very, very powerful. The next question is, can we take something into the input and go into the effects? Well, no. But don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. There's a surprise delay inside the box just for the input. So it's nowhere to be found outside of going into the menu. And when you're into the menu, you go into System menu, you go Enter, General. And it's probably at the end of all the menus. So I don't know if there's a quick access like a shift next one. Oh yeah. The shift, you go faster between section. So you go General, Shift, Key Touch, Pedal, Sound, Sync Tempo, MIDI, Transmit, Receive, Gate Out, Input. That's where we want to be. Input, you have the gain. Now, right now, I just connected the MV1, the VersaLab. I can control the volume here, but I can also play with the gain if I need to. I'm not going to touch it. I think this is mostly useful when you have a microphone than anything else. Next one, tempo sync. Well, if you want the effects that you're going to play with in this section to be synced to the tempo sync, you can actually turn it on. Okay, perfect. Let's say yes for now. Next one is the input delay. So there's a delay. Let's just go through them and then see each of the value. But you've got the input delay. You have a choice of delay type, pan, chorus 1, chorus 2, flanging, and delay chorus. Like, oh, well, this is exactly what this is. So you have this here just for the input. Next one, you've got the time, you get the level, you've got the feedback, you've got everything we just talked about there exists just for the input by itself. And then we go to the next one, which is reverb. Again, you have a choice of all these different mods, types of reverb, sorry. And then you get the timing, you've got the level, you've got the pre-delay, you've got the low cut, you've got the high cut, you've got the density, you've got the direct level. Everything's there. And then you've got input formant. Well, mostly this is because I think this is mostly thought of as being used for a singer who sings into the System-8. And then, of course, for the voice, you could have delay, reverb, makes it better or nicer fit with the song. And for the voice, for the vocoder, you've got the formant to play with the voice. I'll do another video just for the vocoder because it's another beast by itself. There's just a concept of what a vocoder does and how we can use it. But right now, it means that I can actually go there and change also the vocoding values. So let's actually listen to them and see, basically I just press play and I go to the delay and say, well, I want to have some delay. And then so it works, So, and if you cut the original sound, just hear the delay you have. Go shift, can you go faster? If you press shift, you actually go in the values of tens. It's faster to choose it. Interesting. So you can really, again, well, that's it, guys. It's the System-8 has this great layout, a lot of power, a lot of hidden gems into that, a lot more control over the oscillators. Of course, there's always something I wish I had more, but I'm really happy with this. And I found that this input feature makes it interesting. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it for the drums or something else, but it's part of I'm gradually thinking of how I want to do something interconnected so I can trigger something else and it comes back into it. I mean, you've got CV gates and trigger at the back, so I'm still thinking of how I want to interface all this, and I've got other devices with CV gates and input, so that is kind of the next thing I want to explore. Well, before going into exploring that, I think I'm going to explore the vocoder by itself. It's going to be probably in my next videos where we vocoder. Well, I don't know. There's like the vocoder. There's trigger and CV out. There's the performance mode that most people don't really get how it works. Maybe the performance mode first. There's still so many videos to do. Stay safe, make more music. See you soon. Cheers.